Let's babble a bit, shall we? Hi, my name is Andrea. I'm a certified Take Shape for Life health coach. How are you? I had a conversation with a few fellow coaches on Facebook. I guess it was about 3 or 4 weeks ago. We were talking about the struggles that we have to help our clients through with the 5-in-1, and how sometimes the clients have a tendency to make things a little bit more difficult than they need to be. Something that was taught to me about 5 or 6 years ago by a very, very dear friend who had turned into a mentor, actually. I'm pretty sure he watches my videos and he's going to know exactly who he is as soon as I say this little sentence that I'm going to say. But he had it burned into wood, I believe, and it's a plaque that he has in his place of business. And it says, "Simple need not imply easy." And it is such a strong statement. It is so the 5-in-1, it's crazy. Okay. So you go on Medifast, you need to lose a certain amount of weight. They tell you during the weight loss phase, you eat 5 Medifast meals and 1 homemade lean and green meal. Sounds simple, right? Simple need not imply easy. I ended up bringing up this term, this sentence, this phrase, so to speak, because one of the coaches that I was speaking with said, "Why do the clients make it so difficult when it can be so easy?" And I kind of like raised my hand virtually, because this was all on Facebook, you know, and I raised my hand and I was just like, hi, it's not easy. It doesn't matter how simple it is. This particular thing is not easy. It's not easy because you're doing it because you got yourself into trouble by not doing it. Does that make sense? Paying attention to what goes into your mouth is really not easy sometimes. It gets easier. It does get easier. As you go through the weight loss phase on the 5-in-1, and I have a bunch of clients that are doing this right now, they're getting closer and closer to goal, and they're getting more and more stressed, and they're getting more and more scared, because you're going to start adding new foods in, which could maybe get like a little bit complicated, and then it might not be so easy. So it doesn't go in the opposite direction, but it just sort of gets skewed. Kind of like your stop, challenge, and choose thing, because that's very similar too. Very, very powerful statement. If you would write down "simple need not imply easy," and you read that to yourself, and you thought about that every time you were challenged with something, you might say to yourself, wow, this is very difficult for me right now, but I need to go ahead and keep it as simple as possible, because there's no reason to make it more complicated. There is no reason to make it more complicated. If you have a funeral, if you have a road trip, if you have a social event, doesn't it kind of feel safer to know that you have a plan? I mean, to me, having a plan is safety. That's my safety net. That's the extra $100 bill that I have stashed in the Bible over there. That's, you know, the frozen broccoli that I have in the freezer, even though I haven't used it for months and months, but it's in there, you know, because just in case I don't have any fresh vegetables in the house. That's my safety net. And so if your safety net is the 5-in-1, doesn't that feel a little bit more cozy? Doesn't that feel a little bit more comfortable? Especially because you're taking the guesswork out of it. Especially because you know that tomorrow morning you're not going to hate yourself. And I don't think anybody should hate themselves. If you sat down and ate 3 bowls of pasta, don't hate yourself. Never hate yourself for what you eat. Don't hate yourself ever. If you don't like the way food makes you feel, eat something different. That's all. That's all it is. It's trial and error. The Medifast products really work well for me. I really like them. If they don't work well for you, don't use them. I can try to help you like them more. I can try to help you work it into your lifestyle so that it works better for you and that it makes you feel better. When my clients go off plan, I usually say to them, so how does this make you feel afterwards? And they say, I hate that question. And then I say, okay, well, let's put it in even more simple terms. Was it worth it? And a lot of times they can't say yes. Sometimes they say yes, but a lot of times they don't say yes. So maybe that's why I'm a Take Shape for Life health coach, because I feel that the 5-in-1 is very safe. I feel that it's my safety net. It's my comfy blanket. When I don't have the 5-in-1 there for me, actually, I always have the 5-in-1 there for me. The only time I don't is when I forget my bars or I forget my, my cereal at home or something like that, because you can always eat meat and vegetables. There are very, very few situations where you wouldn't have meat and vegetables to eat. Now, listen, if you go to a wedding or a christening or some sort of barbecue and somebody hands you a plate that's already, has servings in it, and there's mushroom ravioli, or risotto, or beautiful red potatoes, au gratin or something like that, that's when it gets difficult. That's when you pick up the phone, and that's when you call me if you feel like you can't have that on your plate. But you could do what I did on Sunday and take the risotto right onto my husband's plate, because he has the ability to not eat it. I don't have the ability to not eat it. I'll be perfectly honest with you. But that was my safety net. The 5-in-1 is my safety net, and I still used it. I used it at a big party. I use it every day. I use it every day. Do I stick to it every day? I try. I try like hell. These days I'm doing it, but simple need not imply easy, right? So sometimes it's not so easy, but it's simple. So if you think about it as simply as it is, then maybe it will feel a little bit more easy for you. Maybe? Okay. My name is Andrea. I'm a Take Shape for Life health coach. If you'd like to contact me, all of my information is below. Bye.